So if your doctor recently told you that it's time to lose some weight, maybe because if you don't, you're gonna have pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, maybe some other health concern. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly what steps you need to take, okay? Because I see a lot of people doing things the wrong way, which a lot of trainers are telling y'all a lot of things that are generic. A lot of trainers are just regurgitating what they hear other people saying, but that doesn't mean what they're telling people is right. And there's more to it. So I'm going to break that down today. Okay. And so this is it's concerning. I get it. If you're somebody you've been trying to lose the weight, but you're not seeing the scale go down, your clothes not fitting better, and you're feeling heavy and tired, these are things you want to do. The first thing you got to stop doing is doing random things. Okay. Here's what I mean. A lot of these trainers out here, you'll see one trainer say, hey, do the keto diet. Then another one say, hey, do fasting. Hey, do Atkins. Hey, do carnivore. Hey, do circuit training. If you see these things, it does. I can see how you can be overwhelmed. I get it. But that doesn't mean that you could be doing these things, but what should you be doing? See, the people that I see who do these random things, they lose a little bit of weight and then they gain it back. They find themselves being disappointed because they're like, I couldn't stick with the plan. I couldn't stick with the workout, or I couldn't stick with meal plan. Houston, Texas, what's up, Lee? What's going on, man? And so these things typically happen when there's no structure, okay? And so if you sometimes losing weight and gaining it back, you step on the scale sometimes, then the weight comes back, that happens because there's no structure to what you're doing. It's kind of like trying to bake a cake. You have the ingredients, because you see all this stuff on social media. You have the ingredients, but if you don't have the recipe to bake that cake, what happens to the cake? It turns into a mess because you like, okay, well, how much of it do I need to put in here? How much icing? How much sugar? How much butter? How much this and that? You don't know because you don't have the recipe. And so when it comes to your nutrition, you know you need to eat healthy, but you don't know how much. You don't know how many times a day. I get people sliding my inbox on Instagram and Facebook. They say, maybe I need to stop eating at 8 p.m. I'm like, why would you say that? Well, I heard that that's what you need to start. That's what you need to do if you want to lose weight. Guys, there's people who are, so you telling me if you're a nurse, I help people who are nurses, doctors, people who are lieutenants, and they have to work overnight. And so you telling me they can't eat after 8 p.m.? Don't make no sense, And so it'll be very stressful for those people to do that. And so what's most important is you have structure instead of just doing all these random things. And so that way you're not stepping on the scale and the weight is fluctuating because there's no consistency with your habits and your routines. When you train, how many days a week do you work out? Is it a consistent 3 days a week? Or is it 7 days and then 2 and then 4 and then 1? That's going to create, a fluctuation in your weight. My doctor has me on a low sodium diet because I have heart failure. Oof, that's rough. There's definitely a lot more to it than just low sodium. I tell you that much. There has to be more structure. That's just one component. There has to be more to it than just lowering your sodium intake. And truthfully, our body needs sodium. Like we cannot just not eat sodium. It's like the people who say, well, I'm going to cut out fats because I don't want to be fat. Guys, our body needs healthy fats for our hormones. Guys, testosterone is a hormone. Cortisol is a hormone. If you're extremely stressed and you're not resting, cortisol goes up, makes it harder to burn fat, makes it harder to build muscle. Men, makes it harder for you to have an erection. I get a lot of guys been telling me that lately. Man, having some issues down there. Well, how are you eating? We won't go too deep into that, but this is about weight loss, and weight loss does affect our health. Okay. And so that's the first thing. Shift from being random to having structure. Number 2, stop just eating healthy, guys. I know that sounds like very conflicting. You're like, man, what? How are you going to say stop eating healthy? And it's not that you need to stop eating healthy, but just eating healthy doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. There's a difference between healthy eating and eating based on weight loss. Because a lot of people, we've all seen people who are vegans and vegetarians, and there's vegans and vegetarians out here who are morbidly obese. How is that possible? Like, how is it possible that somebody who always eats healthy still has a problem with their weight? They lack structure, guys. Okay? They lack structure. And so the way that I go about teaching this to my coaching clients who are dropping 40, 50, 60 plus pounds, I got a coaching client who's down 110 pounds. Shouts out to Ann Hollins. Super proud of you. We talk about energy management. The foods that we eat, the things that we drink, they're either giving or stealing energy away from us. If you've ever heard a trainer or a coach say, just be in a calorie deficit, just calorie deficit, guys, that will, it's a starting point, but it's a lot of people who get stuck when they just have that mindset, oh, just eat less and move more. Because even if you eat less, but you don't eat the right types of food, the wrong foods can steal your energy. And so you could be in an energy deficit because you're not eating as many calories, but now the foods that you're eating are not quality foods. Now it's going to tank your energy even more. And so if you ever found yourself on a diet and you're tired, you have headaches, you have brain fog, you're just like exhausted physically and mentally, it's an energy issue. That's why I say energy management. And that's why what we do over here is called flexible nutrition. So I'm giving you flexibility around what type of foods you can eat. Like my coaching clients, they still eat burgers and tacos and pizza, just not all the time. You know, we follow the 80-20 rule or the 90-10 rule. 80 to 90% of the time, they're eating healthy and clean. The other 10 to 20%, they're eating whatever they want to eat and drinking whatever they want to eat. But if they eat and drink whatever they want to eat 80 to 90% of the time, this is how you have health issues like the type 2 diabetes, the high blood pressure, the kidney disease. There was a pro football player who literally just passed away from kidney disease. Guys, this is so important, man. I have people who are like, yeah, I'm on medication, so it's managed. It's not fixed. It's not fixed. And so this is how people go from, oh, I've been on the medication, but now they got to get on more medication to continue to treat and manage the problem instead of fixing the problem. The weight is a problem. That's why a lot of people get hypertension. That's why a lot of people end up having type 2 diabetes. You have to fix the issue, else you're going to continue to relive those problems over and over again, guys. So important, man. And so how do we fix it? With lifestyle, with flexible nutrition, you know, we got the 80-20. 80% healthy, 20% we enjoy ourselves. Or 90% healthy, 10% we enjoying ourselves. But then to go even further, what's your calorie intake? Do you know how much calories you're eating? Do you know how much protein you're eating? Do you know how much healthy fats and fiber you need to eat? These things are critical, guys, not just for weight loss, but for your overall health. Because you could tell a person who's having some health concerns, they may not even realize it, is if they're tired all the time. They're lacking motivation. They're thinking that they're lazy, but it's really an energy issue from their nutrition. Because nutrition is 80% of weight loss. You don't have to spend hours in the gym. It's nutrition. You eat better, you feel better. It's like having a high performance car. I like cars. Let's say a Ferrari. What happens if you put regular gas in a Ferrari? That sucker go break down. It's not gonna perform. You gotta look at your body the same way. You put too much of that junk food in your body, the lemonades, the sweet teas, the sodas, the crackers and chips, the muffins, the bagels, too much sugar, inflammation in the gut, inflammation in the body and the brain. This goes from having a high level, a high amount of sugar in your diet, weight start getting bigger, weight, you gain a lot of weight. Then you develop pre-diabetes, then type 2 diabetes, and then dementia. Dementia is a form of type 2 diabetes. Too much sugar in the body. And so, super important to pay attention to your nutrition, energy management, not just how much you're eating, calories, but the quality of the foods that you eat. Okay. Last thing, you have to make this shift from just working out to training. Instead of working out, stop that and start training. And so, working out, what I typically see from a lot of folks is they're just going to the gym just to kind of like do something, just to say they did it. And I see a lot of people, they'll do things knowing that it's not fully right, but they'll just say they did it just to be like, oh, well, I tried. And guys, I'm telling you, just because you trying don't mean that you're gonna get the results. You gotta do what's required to get the results. Okay. And so, super important that when you're going to the gym, you have structure, not just going to the gym and doing abs and upper body and legs and cycle or yoga class or sauna. Like, have structure. Do you know how many reps you need to do? Do you know how many sets you need to do? Do you know how much rest time? Do you know exactly what exercises to do? Do you know the alternatives to those exercises? Do you know how much cardio you need to do? Critical. You got to understand these things. I want to say thank you for all the advice you have given over your lives. The information has helped and blessed me tremendously. I'm healthy down 30 pounds in 1 month with more mobility. There you go. Great job, Marlon. Great job. Glad you've been finding it helpful. So the way that we do things when it comes to training, we use something called lifestyle-based training. Because with lifestyle-based training, when it basically fits your life, it fits your schedule. And a lot of people who are busy professionals who rock with my content, high achieving professionals who rock with my content, you don't have all the time in the day to be in the gym. You don't have 2, 3 hours a day to be in the gym. You can't be in the gym 7 days a week for 2 hours every single day. You just don't have the time. And so, how do you get your body to a point where the weight is off of you? You're not stressed and concerned about health issues. You're not tired. You're not feeling exhausted physically and mentally, but you still have the time to be able to enjoy life with your family and the people you love and care about. Structure with your routines, but it has to support your schedule. That's why it's lifestyle based training. Some of my coaching clients work out 3 days a week. Some of them work out four. Some of them, they start dropping weight and having more energy. Now they want to work out 5 and 6. But that's because they have energy now. They see in the results. They even more motivated to want to keep going. Shout out to my client, Brandon Dix. He's down 75 pounds in a year. It's crazy, man. Crazy. It's like, man, I love doing this, y'all. It's just, y'all, some people, you have no idea how close you are to having your breakthrough. And most of y'all are just missing structure, you know, in a year, y'all. 75 in a year. And one of my other coaching clients, April, shouts out to April Wilson, down 81 pounds in 12 months. Whew, crazy. But anyway, this happens because they're not winging it. It's not random workouts. This is not generic meal plan. This is structure, lifestyle-based training, flexible nutrition. So we're eating foods we prefer to eat, but with structure. When you get these things, this is how you're able to lose weight and keep it off and not have to stress and concern yourself with health concerns like high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. Like, guys, it's a lot simpler than what y'all might think. A lot of times, what I find is when people they hit these moments in their life where they're hitting a little bit of adversity, the brain defaults to fear, and they just kind of like lose sight of like thinking rationally. And guys, I'm here to tell you, like, it's not as bad as you might think it is. You just got to be willing to like think, okay, what steps do I need to take? If I were already where I want to be, if I were already 40, 50, 60 pounds down, what would that version of myself tell me? And most people would tell themselves once they've gotten the results, dude, get the help. Why are you stressing? Like, just get help so you don't have to keep going through it. It's like somebody having a toothache. They not just go think about, oh my God, oh, how bad is it? Oh no. No. They go call up then, hey, Go ahead, put me on the go ahead, put me on the calendar. We gotta get this fixed, man. It's too much pain. I can't keep living like this. You fix the issue. No more pain. Now you smiling again. It's the same thing with your health and fitness. All right. Other than that, guys, we out of here. If you would like help from me, you want some structure, you're ready to fix your health, drop the weight, and keep it off, I'll drop a link down in the description below. That way you can explore the opportunity of us working together. All right. We out. Peace. Somebody said something. That's where my fluid builds up is in my stomach. Sounds like there may be some visceral fat. That is not good. You got to start to pay attention to the quality of foods that you're eating and the things that you're drinking and how much of it you're eating and drinking. All right. Probably going to start doing some lives. I may start scheduling them out, to where y'all can get the notification when I'm going to go live. And we'll hop on and start doing some Q&As in the future. But definitely on Monday through Friday, I do these lives. And, you can always come on and I'll answer your questions. But they're just not going to be as long. It's going to be like 15, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to keep them like short and punchy. But there will be longer Q&A lives where I just go longer, okay? As the subscriber base grows, I typically start seeing more people showing up. I'll go live a little bit longer, but, if it's not nobody showing up, like I ain't about to be on here for no 30, 45 minutes. But if there's people on here asking questions, I will stay on longer, okay? But other than that, y'all, if you want some help from me, some structure, and you've been trying and you're just not seeing the results that you want and you're ready to like have your breakthrough. You're tired of feeling tired. You're tired of feeling shame. You're tired of, whatever it might be. Your body not looking and feeling the way you want it to. I get it. I help people on a daily basis with this stuff. And it's so fulfilling to see when they get to the other side. Like you guys, you deserve to be able to see what it's like to get to the other side. All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate y'all sharing and letting me know. I want to pronounce your name. I just don't want to butcher it. I think it's Murtaz. I think that's how I say it. I can't know. But what they say, A for effort, right? But other than that, guys, I got a call in about 4 minutes, so I do have to head out. If y'all find these videos helpful, drop a like and let me know down in the comments because I got kind of like go off of y'all's feedback based on the topics that I talk about because if I don't see y'all liking certain topics, I won't keep talking about it. But other than that, cool. I see you laughing. All right, y'all, we out of here. Let's get it. Peace.